So we'll start with the ABC of life. Without much ado, A, B, C of life for all of us here who are young and old. Always be childlike. Always be cheerful. Always be cautious. And I'll add one more, always be careful. As Bal Vikas children, many of you would be, that you learned that song, be careful little eyes, what you see, what you see. Be careful little eyes, what you see, what you see. There is I within you, he is always watching you. Be careful little eyes, what you see, what you see. But not only the eyes, everything. Be careful little ears, be careful little nose, be careful little tongue, be careful little hands, be careful little legs, be careful little mind. This is what we have to be always careful about. And the best way to enter the kingdom of God is to become like little children. And that is the lesson that we have all learned as Bal Vikas children. Not only does the child who attends Bal Vikas find changes in herself or himself, but even the guru undergoes a change. Let us see what happens when we attend Bal Vikas. We go to the next alphabet. Don't ever lose faith in God. Don't ever lose faith in God and Baba. Be always attached to God because God exists. I'm here reminded of a beautiful story which we always share with our children, that is be like Gaurang. One day Gaurang had a dream in which Krishna comes to him and says, be like me. Play the flute and listen to the melody of the flute. When Gaurang got up, he decided that he would buy a flute and start singing, playing the flute. So he started playing the flute in the early hours of the morning. The neighbors got disturbed and they one day grabbed the flute from his hand and broke it. Gaurang said, you don't like my flute? Doesn't matter. I'll buy a dholak. So he started playing a dholak. And he would move around the streets, again playing the dholak. So the neighbors got tired. My God, now a flute has gone, now a dholak has come. I can't tolerate this. So they all went and banged at the dholak and cracked it. Gaurang said, you don't like my dholak? Don't worry. I will do away with it. And then from the next day, he started clapping his hands and singing and walking around the streets of the little village. And what happened at that time? The ladies and the gents of the village didn't like his singing in the morning and loud clapping. They went and threw stones at him and hurt him that he fell down bleeding. At that time, somebody thought that he is no more. So they rushed forward and they kept their ears to his body. And they found that every cell in the body was singing the loud name of Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So you have to be like Gaurang. Have faith in God. Have faith in Bhagwan. And not only our Baba, but even Hanuman is a beautiful story that we all tell our children. That Hanuman, when he returned from Lanka, having been victorious with Rama and Sita wanted to give him some award. So she went up and she took out her pearl necklace and put it on the hands of Hanuman. And what did Hanuman do? He picked up the necklace, put it in the ears, and then bit it and threw the pearls. Sita was shocked. My beautiful necklace, what are you doing, Hanuman? Hanuman just nodded and said, listen. He plucked the hair from his hand and said, listen to this. And each hair was resounding with the name of Rama. So we must remember that we must have intense faith in God. And all of us are lucky who have had the proximity with Bhagwan, to have lived with him, shared with him the important moments of your life. As we move ahead, I will share with you some of the important moments of my life. Remember that the G in your life is God, and He exists. He's always there. And here you have a beautiful story of the 19 horses. You know, I'm an advocate, and a lot of people come to me to make wills, the last testament of their life. So one gentleman came to me and said, "Ma'am, will you make a will for me?" I said, "Sure, what is there so difficult in making a will? I'll do it for you." I said, "What do you have and who are in your house?" He said, "I'm a widower and I have 19 horses." Fine. How do you want to distribute it? You know, I have a son, Raju. I would like to give half of my horses to Raju. I have a servant, Ramu, who looks after me. I'll give 1/4 of my horses to Ramu. And I go every evening to Dharmakshetra to listen to the bhajan. I'll give 1/5 of my horses to Dharmakshetra as a way of expressing my gratitude to God. I said, "So simple, that's all, no, nothing else. Do you want an executor?" He said, No, you make Mr. Gopi the executor. Fine. I made the will. I got it signed by 2 witnesses in the presence of that gentleman, and everything went well, and this will was packed and kept away. Suddenly, after 15 days, the old man passed away. And everybody said, "Where's the will? Where's the will?" And they came and they found that the will was in the house, and they opened the will. The executor, Mr. Gopi, opened the will and said, "Oh God," when he read the first line of the will, "My God, who has made this will? Ma'am, what have you done? You have made a will which is faulty in the first line." I said, "What have I done?" He says, "You write in the first line that I have 19 horses. Give half of my horses to Raju, my son." What would be half of 19? Yes, you can give me in the chat box, so you can put up your hand. Then half of 19 is 9.5. How can I make? Yes, I can't slaughter a horse into half. So we were thinking like that, and suddenly in that place where we were seated came a wise old man riding on horseback. And he got down and he said, "Ma'am, why are you so worried? What's the matter?"
निशांत की दुनिया याद है?
So
निशांत था ना उसका नाम? नहीं.
I think we should put all.
Kindly mute yourself, please. Those who are speaking in between.
19 horses. Half of 19 is 9.5. And this gentleman got down and says, "Add this 20th horse, my horse on which I have come riding, and bring all the horses together." So all the 19 plus 1 were added, and there was 20. And now you will see that this is the 20 can be divided. Half of 20 is 10. Give 10 to Raju, my son. Then 1/4 of 20 is 5. Give 5 to Ramu, my servant. 1/5 of 20 is 4. Give 4 to Dharmakshetra. That means 10 plus 5 plus 4, 19. And the old man sat on his horse, the 20th horse, and fled away. I said, Stop, uncle, what are you doing?" He said, I have done what I have to do. Remember that whenever you have problems in life, remember God exists, and that is the 20th horse in your life. So whenever we have problems, remember the 20th horse that will save you from all problems. A beautiful word. Let's go back to grace itself. The previous slide. Yeah. This is a beautiful word that Bhagwan said to me when I was just about to get married. I had a lot of problems, financial problems in our life, and my father was passing through great problems before we got married. So at that time, Swami started taking a lot of interest in my life and kept telling me to do this, to do that. It asked about the Bal Vikas of Bombay, everything. He would call me Bombay Bal Vikas. That was a loving term, endearment to me. So once when the marriage took place, was about to take place by Swami. He told the date, and the date was given as 9th of June. And on 7th of June, he called me for an interview with my mother and mother-in-law. And he started giving us what all we had to wear for the wedding day. So when he went in the first time, he brought out a red, starkling red sari. So I thought this must be for the bride. And so I put my hand out. He said, not for you. He gave it to my mother-in-law who has got white hair. I said, what is Swami doing? Giving a red sari to an old lady? He went in again and brought another sari, an orange one. This time he gave it to my mother and he said, not for you. I was shocked. He went the third time in and he brought a third sari. And then it was a blue color sari. He said, Mega Sham, Mega Sham. And then he gave it to me and said, this is for you. Then I listened to everything and then I said, Swami, I want to ask you one thing. Why are you doing all this for me? I have not done anything. Why are you doing all this? Swami said, I have great anugrah for you. And that is the word grace that he spoke about. And therefore, whenever I sing the letters of Bal Vikas, I always incorporate that letter in my Bal Vikas. Balvikas. A simple song like Do Re Mi. B for blessings, count them now. A for anugrah, that's grace. L for love that flows from in. V for values, one and all. I for integration. K for knowledge of the soul. A for anugrah, that's grace that will bring us back to S-A-I Sai. This was the song which I sang at Purna Chandra Hall. And when I came to the line S-A-I, at that time, Swami moved the curtains of Purna Chandra Hall and wheeled in his chair. That is the grace that I shared from the lotus feet of Bhagwan. Let's go on to the next letter. In Bal Vikas, in EHV, we always talk about the 3 HV. The 3 HVs are the head, hand, and heart. And this is how I explain to the children that you must remember that the 3 HVs in our life is the head, hand, and heart. The traffic signal in your life will remind you of this. Whenever a thought comes to your head, stop. Remember the red of the traffic signal. Pause. Take the approval of the heart. Is this thought correct or not? If that pausing is the amber, the color of the signal changing from red to amber, and then only when the signal goes to green, then you move forward. And that is why the 3 HV is when a head, hand, and heart. First, let the thoughts that come to your head stop. Think. Pause. Is it correct? Should I do it? Take the approval of the heart. And finally, if the answer is yes, move the hand forward and act. So this is how the red, the amber, and the green signal goes on. And this will also give us happiness. We are reminded of a beautiful story, the balloon story. A professor once came to class and said, I'm going to take a little activity session. Nobody wants to listen to lessons all the time. So here was an activity lesson. He gave each child a balloon and he said, inflate that balloon, write your name and put it on the floor. And then go and get that balloon back. So everybody, there were about 50 children, all blew their balloons and threw it on the floor after writing their name. And there was total pandemonium. There was noise and confusion. The professor said, stop. I'm changing my modus operandi. What are you going to do now? You're going to take the balloon kept in front of your feet. Pick up that balloon, inflate it, and give it to the person next to you. So simple. Each one blew the balloon and inflated it and gave it to the next person. There was not a confusion. What was a lesson that we learned from this? that happiness lies in sharing, in giving and forgiving, not in grabbing. Remember, always give and forgive, because that is what is love, not getting and forgetting. Let us move on to the next I. If you want to inculcate the value of truth, we talk about Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, Ahimsa. Swami told me that if you want to inculcate the value of truth, you must train your intellect, sharpen your intellect. And that is why memory training is very important. That is why Vedas is now becoming the culture of our Balvikas and of the spiritual wing. That every person of the organization is learning to practice Vedas, because it has been proved that Sanskrit helps memory training. So you must train the intellect and widen the intuition, awaken the intuition, the voice of God within, and then you will realize the truth. So this is therefore IIT, not IIT. Intuition plus intellect will give us truth, not the Institute of Trained Technology, but this is IIT. Intuition and intellect will give us truth. J. The next letter is judicious mix of bhakti, seva and dhyan. Whenever we have joined, wherever you are, whether as a youth wing or as a Balvikas Guru or as a Seva Dal, remember you must inculcate in your life all the three wings: education, seva and bhakti. You must make your life like a bhel puri, like the Bombay bhel. There must be the tikka chutney, the meetha chutney, the mango, the potatoes, the kurmura. Everything must be as a mix. Or like the South Indian sambar. Everything must be a judicious mix. Then only will it be palatable, will life be easy. So remember, mix of bhakti, seva and jnana must be a part of your life. And then you will find that life becomes a very palatable experience. Now let's move on to K. We'll do kindle the light. I'm going to take you to an activity now, because what I learned in Thailand was the practice of dhyana. In there, at the age of 2, 5 and 6, small little Thai boys would come to their class and practice meditation, silent sitting. So let us have an experience of how we should meditate. All of you all sit comfortably. Keep your hands resting on your thighs, or maybe in this mudra, Chinna mudra or Jnana mudra. And then as I lead you forward, you follow it. Close your eyes after seeing the candle that is lit in front. If you can darken the room, it will be fine. Otherwise, just concentrate on the light. And imagine the light resting in the region of the eyebrows. If you can imagine, then continue. But if you cannot, open your eyes, visualize the candle again and bring it back to the region between the eyebrows. Slowly, the eyes are closing. And repeat after me, I am that, I am that, I am that. So hum, so hum, so hum. Take that light from the region of your eyebrows to the spiritual heart and see that light resting in that heart. As the light enters, you will find that the petals of your heart, of the lotus of your heart, open up and become vibrant. Take that light now to the region of your eyes. See the light in your right eye and the left eye. Your eyes have become pure. The eyes are the windows of the face. They will make you see the world and therefore observe that light in the right eye and the left eye. Now these eyes have been purified. They will only see good. Take the light to the ears, the right ear and the left ear. These ears have been sanctified. They will only hear good words, good language. Take the light down the nose. This nose has been purified. It will only smell good. Take the light to the tongue. This will help you to sanctify your tongue. You will speak good words and you will eat good food. Slowly let the light go down your throat, onto your right shoulder, down the right arm, to the fingers of your right hand, across the chest, to the left arm, left hand, to the fingers of the left hand. These hands have become pure. These hands have become holy. Swami says, hands that help are holier than lips that pray. Slowly let the light of the candle continue to move down the stomach. Your digestion improves. Your entire health improves. Because the stomach is the important organ of the body which supplies the blood to different parts. It supplies the energy to different parts of your body. Then let the light go down the legs, the right leg and the left leg, to the toes of the right foot and the left foot. These feet will walk on the path of Dharma. Slowly let the light go up the spinal column, back to the head, to the region of the eyebrows, and bring it to the spiritual heart. And see Bhagwan seated in your heart. Place your head at his feet and pray to him. Oh Baba, make me your child true and pure. Help me to be kind and loving, sincere and forgiving. Let the light go out in ever-widening circles to bless your mother and father, your brothers and sisters. Pray for your uncles and aunts, your grandparents. Pray for your servants, for your friends at home and at school, college. Pray for even those whom you don't like. Pray for your servants. Pray for all the birds, the flowers, the bees, the animals. The entire cosmos is filled with divine light, and let it go on spreading out in widening circles. Slowly bring that light back to the region of your heart and let it rest there for the whole day. Rub your hands together, place it at your eyes and slowly open your eyes. This little guiding light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little guiding light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little guiding light of mine, I'm going to let it shine all the while, let it shine. So with this prayer, let's move on to the next one, HIJKL. Law and love. This is what my life was. When I got married, my parents were happy that I had gone into a Sai family. But my in-laws, my father-in-law was a lawyer, my husband was a lawyer, the whole family was lawyers. So they wanted even the daughter-in-law to do law. My father-in-law was keen that I take up law, but I didn't like law. I didn't want to do law. I said, let me continue my teaching. Before my marriage, I was a teacher. Let me continue my teaching. So we said, okay, we'll ask Swami. We have asked Swami everything, so we'll ask Swami what we should do. So when I happened to go to Puttaparthi, I got married in June and August for a pre-Sevadal camp. At that camp, Swami called me and said, what are you wanting to do now after? So I said, Swami, what should I do? Father-in-law is telling me to do law. So Swami said, do law and love. Love and law. So I was wondering, what does he mean by love and law? Then he said, love your children and continue practicing law. So from that day, I continued to do Bal Vikas and continued to be working as a lawyer with my firm, our own legal firm. So that is how the law and love came into my life. Let's move on to the next M. Marga. As I told you, we must have correct path to follow. And how did I learn that? I learned it from the word Bal Vikas. You saw the consonants that I spoke about? Now, along with the consonants, there are 3 vowels in the word Bal Vikas. A, I, A. B-A-L. So the A, Vikas, B-I, K-A, in the second A. And I realized that this word Bal Vikas, the vowels of the word Bal Vikas, give us 3 margas. And that must be the marga that every individual must follow. First, remember, A, an appointment with God. Whenever you go for your youth camps or for your Bal Vikas or for your study circles or for bhajans, remember it's an appointment with God. So you must keep your time. A cute thing that I learned from my children, my Bal Vikas 7-year-old child taught me, I kept telling him to come to class at 5 o'clock because the class begins at 5 o'clock on Saturdays. And this boy would come in at 5:10, 5:15. It's a 1 hour, 15 minutes class. And if the child comes late, he misses, then he distracts everybody. So I told him, come on time, my boy. So he said, his name was Ravij. He said, Miss, I try my best to come on time. But what will happen? I said, you see, God will be there in the class. So he said, show me. And God supports your good thoughts. Whenever the class began, at 5 o'clock, the telephone bell in Bombay would ring. That in my house. In Bombay, we don't have gongs, but we have telephone bells ringing. So I would pick up the phone and say, hello, hello. And then there would be no reply. And I'd keep it down and say, I think Baba is trying to contact me and find out whether all the children have come to class on time. So the little boy, Ravij, 7-year-old, listened to it and started coming from next Saturday onwards by 10 to 5, quarter to 5. And he would sit and talk to me all about the TV shows. All Bombay children only want to talk about TV. Now, I didn't know much about TV, but I would listen to him and this would continue. One day, it was the second Saturday, and this boy started coming early. That day, the telephone bell rang at 10 to 5. I picked up and said, hello, hello. There was no reply. And you know what Ramesh replies? Auntie, today is second Saturday. There is no traffic on the road. Swami came fast and therefore there was no signal. So remember that God has kept his appointments. That little boy, 7-year-old, had learned that there is an appointment with God and that Bal Vikas is an appointment with God. Not only Bal Vikas, whether you are a youth wing member or a bhajan singer or a study class leader, you must keep your time, must follow time. So remember, it's an appointment with God. And what are you opening up when you keep this appointment? The Bhakti Marga, the first Marga. Second is I. I is inquiry. By joining the study circle, by joining the Bal Vikas, by joining the youth wing, you start inquiring. Every night you ask yourself, is this what I'm supposed to teach? Is this what I'm supposed to read? What story should I tell? What bhajan should I sing? So you're all the time ruminating what story, what bhajan. And therefore you're starting the second marga, that is the inquiry, jnana marga. The third marga, which is opening up by doing Bal Vikas, youth wing, sevadal, whatever be the activity you take up, the third wing, the third letter that you have is A again. Action without desire for fruit. Nishkama karma. Do your action, but don't crave for the fruit of action. And that is what we teach in our Bal Vikas. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbu ma te sangosva karmani. So remember, do the action, but don't crave for the fruit of the action. Offer it to God. And that is the third marga which is opening. karma marga, nishkama karma marga. So we have therefore the three paths that are opening up by joining any wing of the organization. These are all shared by Bhagwan with me and giving me these insights at his lotus feet. Let us go on to the next one. Letter. We finish this, we go to the next one. The second, I still have lots on M. Swami performed my marriage, as was mentioned by Mehek. And what did Swami teach us at our wedding? He told us that first understand one another and then adjust. But today's world, you find that couples are trying to adjust to each other and then understand it, and there is confusion. So Swami told us, if you want your marriage to succeed, first understand and then adjust. The next important thing that Swami did was to allow us to do his Aarti. And the Aarti was a beautiful incident. The Aarti had 2 camphor tablets, and they were kept in the thali. And Swami flicked it like a carom board, that one camphor tablet mingled with the second, and it flew up in a beautiful flame. So therefore, Swami gave the message that marriage is unity, purity, divinity. Let the camphor unite, purify, burn in purity, and merge with divinity. This is a beautiful example of marriage. Let's move on to the next. I think I have one more in M, that is money. The next letter, the next slide, please. Swami told me, don't run after money. Money is like a shoe. If you must wear the same shoe which is of your size. Don't ask for too much money. If you have too much money, you will suffer. If you have too less also, you will suffer. It's like the shoe. It should be of the right size. If the size of the shoe is bigger than the size of your foot, you will fall. If it is smaller than the size of your foot, it will pinch you. It will bite you. So remember, money is like a shoe. This is an example that Swami gave us at the wedding. And he says, don't crave for too much money. Don't plan anything in your life. I shall give you enough. Enough deta hai. Enough deta hai. The next LMN, we come to N. A beautiful story that I tell my children is from the life of Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill was a Prime Minister and was invited to his alma mater, his school, to give a talk. Everybody was tired of talks. All you must be also getting tired of my talk. But then you have nothing else but to listen. You have no option. So Winston Churchill saw the boredom on the children's face, and he went up to the stage and said, dear children, I'm going to speak only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words. And on the 6th word, I will sit down. So everybody said, ha ha ha, not possible. Once you give a mic to a Prime Minister, he's not going to stop talking. Winston Churchill said, listen, it's only 6 words and no more. He went up and he said, never, 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 never. 4 words are up. Still 2 more to go. Never, never, never give up. So remember, dear children, don't give up your love for Swami. Don't give up your love for the leadership program. Don't give up your love for the youth wing. Continue this and remember that the given moment is now. Kal ho na ho. We don't know whether we are there tomorrow. The moment is now. So that's how we should spend our letter N. Then we go to element O. Be open-minded. Be optimistic. Now in these pessimistic times, when there's pandemonium and there's trouble everywhere, we must remember 10 sentences as we open our eyes. First, be grateful. Thank you, God. Say that first word, thank you, when you open your eyes. And then remember these 10 sentences. Keep on saying these 10 sentences every hour as the clock moves every hour. I am a strong being. I am a fearless being. Strong and fearless. I am a peaceful being. I am a powerful being. I am a healthy being. I am a healthy being. Now the next come to the 5. Let God's ring of protection be around me. Let God's ring of protection be around my family. Let God's ring of protection be around my house. Let God's ring of protection be around my society. Let God's ring of protection be around my city. Let God's ring of protection be around the world. So remember these 10 sentences. I am a strong being. I am a fearless being. I am a powerful being. I am a peaceful being. Let God's ring of protection be around me. Let God's ring of protection be around my family. Let God's ring of protection be around my home. Let God's ring of protection be around my city. Let God's ring of protection be around my state. Let God's ring of protection be around the world. I am an angel of God. End with thank you, God, for making me an angel in your life. So these are 10 sentences that we must repeat every time the clock changes mark by 1 hour. And remember, when you drink water also, drink water. Jaisa pani, vaisa vani. Jaisa an, vaisa man. Concentrate on the food that you eat and remember these sentences. So always be open-minded, be fearless, be giving and forgiving. And then we go on to the next letter, practice. Swami said we must practice every day. Habit must be a way of our life. And what must we practice? Be, do and tell. He told me that I once led the Bombay Youth Wing for a program in Kulwant Hall. And Swami was very happy with all the girls. He called me from the stage and called me and said, "Bahut acha leader, be, do, tell." And always start the day with prayer. Remember, the prayer reminds you that pray until something happens. Push. Pray until something happens. Push. So, the beautiful words of prayer, which are really true in life, is prayerize, actualize, and picturize. This is an example of a real life story. A couple, a divorcee couple, came to me and said the husband was keen that he gives a divorce to his wife. It's a true life story. But the wife did not want to grant him the divorce. Nowadays, we have what is called as divorce by mutual consent, where within 6 months, without telling the court anything, if you say that you don't want to live with the partner, then the court will grant it to you, the divorce. So this couple came to me, and the husband was dead keen that he gets a divorce. The wife did not want. She remembered the happy days that they had spent together. So she asked me, what should I do? I said, do whatever he says. Give in, let him say. So you go and find that petition. And we did it. And I said, what you do is, from the day you have signed that petition, pray to God. Pray what? That let this divorce not be granted. God, please do not grant this divorce. And pray with all your heart, with all your faith. And then what I told her next? Picturize. Picturize all the happy times that you all spent together when you all were in love with each other. And this continued for 6 months. The 6th month, it was time for the divorce to be granted. And this lady was getting jittery. Now it's going to happen. Now it's going to happen. I said, nothing will happen. God is great. He will protect you. And you know, on the 6th month, when they went to court, the husband came to the court and said, I don't want this divorce. The judge was shocked. You don't want a divorce? What happened? He says, the lady I fell in love with has left me and gone in for another man. So I don't want to go to this lady. I'll be happy with my wife. And therefore, we will live together as a well-wedded, happily wedded couple. So remember, prayerize, picturize, actualize, and pray until something happens. Push away. Push with all your effort till something happens. Q. Quietude. The next letter, Q. Practice quiet. Swami once fired me at Dharmakshetra. He said, "बहुत बात करती है." I never used to speak, but I think a lot, and that is what Swami spoke about, the chatter of the mind. So we must reduce the chatter of the mind. Try and make yourself quiet, calm. And once a beautiful example that he gave was to my father-in-law. My father-in-law was a lawyer and was working at Puttaparthi in the university as a law professor. One day, he happened to come early for the darshan, and Swami was walking in the veranda, and he asked him, "Mr. Pandya, what do you want?" My father-in-law was happy that Swami had recognized. He said, "Swami, I want moksha." "You want moksha? Come to the interview room." So Swami took my father-in-law in, and then started the beautiful experience that happened there. Swami kept asking a question, and my father-in-law, very intelligent lawyer, kept answering. Swami asked him, "What is your name?" He said, "Gulab Rai Atmaram Pandya." Second question, "What is your wife's name?" "Nirmala Gulab Rai Pandya." How many sons do you have?" "Nimish, Dharmesh, Mayur." "How many daughters-in-law do you have?" "At that only I was one." "What is your daughter-in-law's name?" "Kamala." Like this went on a number of questions, and like an entire volley of questions going back and forth and back and forth. And finally Swami put up his hand and said, "Pandya, itna yaad karega to moksha kaisa milega? If you remember so much, how can you get moksha? If you want moksha, you have to forget to get God. Forgetting to get God." So remember that we must reduce the number of questions in our lives. Beautiful. Let us go to the next. R, right leader. That's what Swami told me, that when I was leading the youth wing of Bombay, Swami said, if the leader is right, then the children will be right. The boys are not behaving correctly, but the girls are behaving well because they are watching you. And that is what he told me at the time of my marriage also. 1 year after my marriage, he said, "Be careful what you wear. People are watching you. They will say ideal couple hai aur dekho kaisa kapda pehante." We had gone to Goa, and Goa is a place, where there are swimming pools, and so we went swimming. "I can't wear a sari and go swimming," I told Swami. So Swami said, "Shh, don't argue. Remember that you must be dressed well." And he showed me how to drape a sari also. So be forthright, be courageous, and face the beautiful life that Swami speaks about. Be a right leader. Next, we go on to S. And that reminds you of the Sri Satya Sai Seva organization. It has 4 S's, which reminds us how we should spend the different parts of the day. S, start the day with silent sitting. The second S, fill the day with self-study. Third S, end the day with self-audit. And fourth is then merge into Seva. And that is the Sri Satya Sai Seva organization. You start the day with silent sitting, what you did just now, the dhyana. Then you fill the day with reading, self-study. Read something, 1 chapter, 1 paragraph, read, but make it a habit now. And then S, end the day with self-audit. Am I been a better person today than what I was yesterday? Am I a better teacher? Am I a better lawyer? Whatever is your profession, ask yourself. And if the answer is yes, put your head on a pillow and sleep. If the answer is no, ask, where did I go wrong? What can I do to amend myself? So service to man is service, and the last will be service. Seva should be the last step. First, build up your spiritual bank balance and then go on to Seva. And for that, you must spend time in silence. Then we go to T, transformation. That is what is the purpose of this organization. The Sri Satya Sai Seva organization is helping us to transform ourselves. जब से मैंने साई पाया मेरा जीवन बदल बदल गया, इस जहां की बुराइयों से मुझे छुड़ाया प्यार देके, तब से दिल मेरा मन मेरी काया, मेरा जीवन बदल बदल गया। जब से मैंने साई पाया मेरा जीवन बदल बदल गया। सत्य धर्म शांति प्रेम राह दिखाया, चलना सिखाया, तब से दिल मेरा मन मेरी काया, मेरा जीवन बदल बदल गया। That is the power of transformation. The complete change in your life will take place once you have seen Swami, once you have witnessed the beauty of Swami in your life. And that brings us to the next aspect of T, trustee. Being a Bal Vikas Guru, Swami kept asking after my marriage, how many children do you have? How many children do you have? And we had no children. So once while climbing down the steps of Dharma Kshetra, he asked me, how many children do you have? I said, Swami, aapko malum hai, I have no children. He said, no children? He turned round to the 3,000 children. Ye 3,000 bacche kiska hai? All these Bal Vikas children are your children. And therefore remember that we should all, whether your parents, whether you're a father or mother, you're only a trustee of that child. The child comes through you and it is not yours. You have to look after them as trustees and offer them at the lotus feet. RST, you, understanding. I spoke about that understanding first, that we must first understand and then adjust. And we must be united in thought, word and action. And only then, remember the aeroplane TWA that we used to have before? Now it's not functioning anymore, but TWA is the thought, word and action. There must be unity of thought, word and action. And then only will you experience peace in your life. Will you experience joy in your life? Will you experience right character in your life? We is values. You must practice values. At least one value in your life you must practice. Take up the value of love or just Satya. Just one value if you practice, all the other values will come up to you. Similarly, give up one vice. If you give up one vice, all the vices will go away from you. So Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, Ahimsa, any one of them you can take. There are 83 sub-values, but Swami has classified, the NCRT has classified these 83 into 5 major heads. Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, Ahimsa. These 5, any one of them you bring in your life and you will find a change in your being. Similarly, if you give up one vice from your life, you will find that all the vices disappear. So that must be the values that we must always keep. The universal values of Satya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, Ahimsa. Any one of them inculcate in your life and you will find a change in your behavior. Next, we'll come to W. Watch yourself. Watch yourself, not in the mirror. Watch your words, watch your actions, watch your thoughts, watch your character, watch your heart. Then you will find that things are improving. And Swami always gives the beautiful example of the watch. And we must always look inside and watch ourselves. That is what Sai, see always inside. That is what Sai stands for. So remember to keep the watch not on your hand, but in your inside you. And watch your words, actions, thoughts, character and heart. Then we come to X. I'm forgetting my alphabets now. X is a journey to excellence, an exercise of excellence. We must every day strive to excel from good to better, from better to best. And every day there should be at least 1% improvement in our life. Then you will find that excellence is not competing with others, but with your own self. So remember that our exercise must be towards excellence, to improving ourselves, improving the world, improving the people around us. And then we come to Y and Z. This, by joining the organization, you can do yeoman service. That is a yeoman service. When the sailors go on ship, they render yeoman service. You are come on the Bhavasagar of life. And remember, you must render yeoman service to God, to Swami. And He will always be happy. And He is always watching us. So remember this. Be careful, little children, what you see, what you hear, what you think, what you speak. Because He's always with us, within us, above us, around us, watching us. And finally we come, don't forget the zeal in your life. Be full of zest, full of zeal, and continue your life with zest and motivation so that you will serve the world and make it a much better place to live in. Jai Sai Ram.